Right, so elela bone o montle jalo kgwedi la Ferikgong e tlhola malatsi a le masome a mabedi le borobongwe. Ina la me ke Kabelo Segift Kgang, and this is the Ink and Think podcast. My guests today, phenomenal actors. They are a pleasure to watch on the screen. They make television beautiful. Bua ka mamfekesa buijalo ka James Sithole, mo go jalo le Moses Mabuza. Right, so la ke la mogale. Le siame.
Yeah, no, re siame. Re gabotse, se rege.
Yeah. Ke buile jalo ga ke introduce jalo gore ke kgwedi ya Ferikgong. It's actually January the 29th. Mo kgweding e tlang ke Tlhakole. Tla bo go setse 14 days fela gore re tsene mo tsetting le la Valentine's Day. So ga ke itse before re tsena go dikganyeng tsa rona, I just want to make sure gore batho ba le gore ba lebeletse kwa gae batho ba lona, your girlfriends. Ke bua le ke your girlfriends.
You make it sound like girlfriends.
Hey, ke rawe.
And then
Lera ke tlotla mo go ena gore di girlfriends. So I just want to know what guys, are you guys ready for it now?
For
Valentine's Day.
Are you ready for Valentine's, James?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've been ready. I am ready, and I will be ready the day before. But obviously, we celebrate love every day.
Yeah.
So that day, by a special day, Valentino.
Yeah.
But we will celebrate it. Maybe just to enhance, or maybe to but rena na ke celebrate Lerato almost every day.
Moses, I quite like to change the views now because the camera is on, So
Sure.
I'm gonna be straightforward with this question. What do you make of this idea of Valentine's Day?
I get tlhalohanye na Valentine's. I get tlhalohanye hore e tswa kae. So maybe I need to educate myself for Valentine's ke eng, to me ke mang, and why I ketile the 14th of February specifically. Right. So come go James Abulela. It's my whole life it's been a thing ya hore ke believe for love should be celebrated on any other day. Just like hona le bo di Mother's Day le bo di Father's Day. A re tlhogo emela calendar e re celebrate 1 2 3. Celebrate motho how any other day. So I wish one day I'll be educated mo tabeng ya Valentine's hore ke eng, and then it's wakai,
Yeah. Na ga sa batla go ntsha ditšhelete le nna di conspiracy theorist.
Well, wa bona le ona e ke engwe gape. Because maybe I read, but maybe ke plan ya go ready shopong ro spend.
Oh, but yeah, go na le capitalism but
Maybe.
yeah. Otherwise, I think I'm for all the opinion. Whoever wants to celebrate it, I think they can celebrate it. But I think the best thing is to have a conversation with your partner to know where they are standing. Because
course.
I think at some point when you might not celebrate it, but to them it might mean something
means
else.
something,
So I think if it gets to that point, you just have to celebrate it for their sake.
Give and take. Yeah.
I want to talk to you guys about the genesis of your careers, and you guys, and as much as I'm saying the genesis, you guys have biblical names. So I'm going to start with Moses, and then I'm going to go through Matthews, who's not there, and then I'm going to go to James. I get it, so biblically.
Yeah.
So Moses, I want to know, take me through the journey of your career. How did it come about to the point where you are? And also let me know what was happening when you got that call, ya scandal. Hey, we want you to come and play taps.
How far back do you want me to take it? Because Nafon is from high school type of vibe.
I saw James on one of the articles said it started in grade 1. The article said in grade 8. But I think I want us to talk about the moment where you were 100% sure okay, this is a career that I want to pursue. I'm making this a professional life.
Yeah. Okay, that was late high school. Mo e leng hore ke tsere decision okay, now let me look for an institution, let me do my own research to find out what does it take to start a career in acting. That's when I found AFDA. I went to AFDA and I did a degree. Live performance, graduated 2019. Started job hunting, of course, for the voiceover and for performance as well. It didn't really work out that great. Maybe it's into e-hailing. So I shifted from the arts, even though necessarily graduated, but I moved a bit. Got e-hailing, and I got a call my very first TV gig was Komubango, but I doubt even the people there remember me. Ke really a cameo role Komubango. Shot there 2019, it aired February 2020. Yeah, man, push until I got an audition for another Mzansi Magic production. Yeah, Kaspana Burography. I think a week after shooting Lesoti, Burography, I received a call from my agent. Now, mind you, because I made an audition 2 months before this call, Scandal. So I thought maybe, because I did 2 months without receiving any feedback, maybe they took, a well-known face as they usually do in the industry. Maybe I didn't make the cut. This call, Scandal needs you, but we have no idea, or is it for that character, or they maybe chose a different character for you, or what, just arrange with them so that you can go for the fitting and so on. I think this was July 2021. Yeah, 2021. So yeah, that has been just a piece of my journey from deciding until Motwazena ETV Scandal.
And what was the feel like? Because I'm very aware what the both of you are actually the fan of the show.
Absolutely.
How you interact with the audience members in theater language. How you interact with them and showing them the love, and how you anticipate the storyline with them. Yeah. So it must have been that moment of pleasure. Finally for a professional actor, like.
Exactly. Yeah, go to even believe it's happening. I remember auditioning go Scandal, walking in, go reception, and you have to fill in your name, the register. And walking in now to see my own picture near reception is, I can't even explain it. It's been a massive, enormous blessing in J. So yeah, moment of pleasure definitely, but moment of realization or dreams do come true.
I love it. James, at some point you wanted to become a policeman and a soldier, and it looks like we actually need them at this point. So can you also take me a little bit, into your journey, what actually happened, what was happening? Because but I was on a journey with somebody who's our mutual friend,
Okay.
Yeah, it was a long Uber drive, like say you're having conversation around the industry, Pretoria versus Johannesburg, And somebody mentioned the fact that before the call scandal, you were actually considering to quit acting. I don't know how true is that.
I want to get
I know I'm not gonna say. And we have very mutual friends, So can you talk about that? What was actually happening? Maybe we can take it as far as you wanting to be a police, and then you decided to dive into the arts.
Okay. Usually, we plan and then God decide. So, grade 1, front opposite ko high time I got Engel police. So ke bona vele ba ile commissioning ba latile batho, sometimes ba lata maybe go di taverning tse di leng gaufi le rena. Then you just love that adventure okay, but ba tso ba shiana ka mo dikoloing, then ba goga damane ka dimpama and stuff. So I wanted to be that guy. But okay, I'm fixing the country, I'm fixing the community. And then go be cultural day, then ba re gopela gore re etse something. The only thing I could think of nearly a monologue or acting. Kaitsa acting by rata mara obviously negilem fan. So asanga guy bonanto really important. Nagara na go fix a country.
Yeah.
Then at the later stage yo grade 4, 5, 6, 7 obona masole le bona ke it's adventurous. Then okay man, let me switch ba lesole maybe military policing. I wanted to do military policing because what I've seen ko kasi idirega ke gore mapodisa na palla ke something ba subs, then ba bitsa ba masole. So got okay, nagenya go ba bitsa ba batle ba tlo betampa mafela. So but at the later stage ra gola re le batho and then now setse o le mature to kgona differentiate gore o rata eng a o rate eng and then obviously ne ke rata di sports athletics ne ke shiana mara ba nshia at the end of the day ne ke fetsa race ne ke kgona thoma race ke be ko morao from first round until ya bo 4 mara ke khotlelle ke fetse that day then one time I ga bitsa mjito mong ne re mitse gore wa shiana di marathon and wa win called Isaac so ka mo khopela ka mfethu nna ke nya go win this year go pontus then ka tsoga le ena every morning re shiana then that year ile ka wina a gold medal and a silver
wow
you understand then from more ke a bona ke re man ntwe ya nlapisa ke a rata mara ke a lapa you understand then from more ka re ke fitla ko high school there was a group called Zivuseni then ne ba di etsa kaofela dilo tse ne ba shiana ba dlala bolo ba actor then tsatsi le leng our instructor wa o shiana na stay then room e tletse ka batho ba actor le nna ga itatlela ka mogare
wow
and then from mowe bampa role ka ebola then people were praising me but hey man you can do this you can do this then please come back tomorrow kaya ka usana kaya the following day then ke a bona gore man ke ntho e ngareng ke a rata then ke a gopola gore le ka grade 1 ke irile mara asanga ka ilatella that much because I was very young so now ke matured ke a understand wrong le right ke understand gore ke eng e ke rata so only to find out gore acting ke a rata then obviously ba tlo motivate ma teacher gore ntho ina chelete you can't make a living out of this and o blind ga maths o blind ga physics so why usa iri nursing or the electrical engineering or something then okay nursing maybe ngaira nursing ekere ke a checka le language le ona Sepedi ke a sebetha English ke a beta isindebele but isindebele ne is part of my languages tse ke di etsa net gore ne ke no tsena di classeng tsa teng nje if a gona memo wa Sepedi so ke tsena class ya Zindebele then from mo ke a bona gore ke a excella mo dilong tse ke re okay ke checke di prospectus go cha di language practice day then ke re ka checka di interpreting language advisor dilonyana tse ba so ke ba le matla gore man dilo tse ke a di bona di irega mo church di irega everywhere batho ba interpreter and stuff so I can do it then ke practice then le nursing le ona ke re a ke bang advice hitse gore ke dire dilo tse ke apply medunta bantse ya for nursing ka apply TUT bang accepta for language practice now ke January I have to decide gore ke a kae statement sa fitla a ke qualify ko medunta impetile physics impetile maths because ne ke focus itse thata ko language ke focus itse thata mo acting so I'm better the subject it's maths and physical science ke pala go ya medunta ke qualify ang lebile ke grele le funding ke language practice ko TUT but now TUT ga ke social nguve a ke tse motho go social nguve ke kwele dilo tsa bete ka social nguve ke ra se go ke ya then ngaya kae then ke gopola re during my years of acting mo groupung Zivuseni and kana engwe re bitsa Never Go Down ne ke fela ke ya go State Theatre just to watch the shows and then ke boe gae that lelengwe ka ya go State Theatre ke re go inquire about acting so that maybe after school nga ira no gona le king glass door sliding door so sliding door it was my first time ke tlhakana le sone and then ka jiga go di steps
Khana sliding door kwa Mhlanga fethu
and imagine from Kwamhlanga to State Theatre ke patetse ka jiga go sliding door until the following year ke fitla mole ke no bona batho ba no feta fela mole e bula ke yo and ke fitla ga botse ke ra ba tswaletse ba rawa byang le mo gara ngwaga byang khosa ke ne ke go inquire ke botse ba tswa diro ke no ke ntwe ke nya kang go itshuna next year but ka gra sliding do se tswaletse da ga jika
Maybe like a rota roast.
Yeah, fethu.
ka
Mara
jika.
that's serious.
Ka jika, and then from more ka ke palla ko ya ko Soshanguve ka ya ko State Theatre.
Yeah.
Then go State Theatre ka kran nona le dikolo da so ba fana ka training. Then I joined one of them, King Youth in Trust, Performing Arts Academy. Ka joina bona, ka etsa drama le bona. Then mara ne ke fela ke ya go TUT. So cause o ka re wa check batho ba bantši ba ntse bela go TUT.
Yeah,
Cause
yeah,
I was always go
Yeah,
TUT. Then ne bana no re ne ke ira drama go TUT.
Oh.
Ga go TUT ne ke no attend nje.
It makes sense.
Sometimes ke tsena magitare jo nna ke tsena TUT ene go na le di show da ke ya di show e ba tsena di classeng ke tsamaya le bona. Mara nna ne ke tsena mo State Theatre. You understand?
Mailo check it.
No.
To bona ka re ya go.
Yeah.
Never check out the show. Never check out the show.
Confirm, right?
Like I was into arts, and nege, I believe gore ga o bona somebody ira something you learn from them.
Of course.
Yes, so that's why the shows at TUT during my time, asanga ka palla go di bogela tse tsotlhe. I made sure gore ke ya frogo, then ke chaisa late.
Yeah.
Ke bona di show. Then from Mowe, ya be ya ke tse sa ruri vela. From State Theatre, TUT, then until today more scandal.
Now we thank God for TUT for also playing that important role in my life in gago.
It did very much so. Then from more ka move ka ira language go TUT.
Yeah.
Language practice to enhance acting as well. So plan was to translate the scripts and maybe be a subtitler, and then only to find out gore it lo ntswela mo hola language. Cause so ga re wa check ma scandal ke berekisitse almost di languages tse bayanyana ke thutile tsona go ntweng go sekolong.
Yeah.
And then obviously ne ke ira se ne ke sira go secondary gore if me ma teng ke ya go classing yang.
Makes sense.
So yeah, ne ba dira di languages tse tsotlhe da. So then I attended all the classes.
Yeah. Moses Skachimsa Abua, I want to understand how much liberation do they give you guys with the script and when it comes to language, because the both of you actually get an opportunity to like play with those languages and actually bring those African nuance. Because every time I say to people something, if you say it in English and then you say it in African language, it's not going to have the same meaning or the same essence. So I want to know from the both of you, how much liberation do the directors give you in terms of using those languages? And also, before you answer that, from you, because also Northwest is a Klipgate. Klipgat, ne? Okay, right. There's a place called Limpopo, baby, it's Swartwater. So, but every time, baby, it's sweet water. So we always like, this is sweet water. Swartwater, you know. So I want to know Talia go Pitori, or it's a kai, you know.
So, okay, Erike told me that Klipgat and Pitori. Klipgat was part of Gauteng.
Okay.
So it was part of Pretoria. So I'm not sure in terms of the demarcation changes in because Klipgat is a stone throw away from Mabopane. Like how more go prison, come Mabopane go block you. Klipgat is like just here.
I see.
If voice is strong enough to call someone, so narrative or keep it all because I can't feel like maybe like a street or whatever. And then in terms of Tabaya script, now in my experience since Kids in 2021, I've always been given freedom 100% because there's even room to make suggestions. You know, the culture even before we start shooting a scene, we run the scene dialogue. Director will say, let's just hear it, you know, before we hit the floor. Let's just hear it or it's amabia. And it offer opportunity because they even ask sometimes, what do you think of what the character is saying and how he's saying it? It's that more long as your own suggestion or no, but I don't think my character would say something like this, especially in this way. How about we change it to 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3? You'll also appreciate that Pitori isn't really an official language. So therefore, but abasizi kamkho. So they've been willing to also learn from us vele how tla mo Pitori hore oh but le bolela so because how le go hopola there was a time I used the term mama zala. Mama zala to in some places means mother-in-law.
Yep.
Wa tlhaloganya mara go Pitori khona hore mama zala and it means mama like your mother or mang's mother, not necessarily in-law. So then it was a thing, yeah, but I think for them it was a thing of okay, let's just learn okay, go bona, this is acceptable outside of the in-law thing. You know. So enough on I think 100% liberated equally.
No, that's
I
beautiful.
wanna mo ba hatellang. Yes, ho tla no ba le the differences in yan, but really would you put it that way? Maybe it's a bit offensive. It just but yeah, man, I referee that.
Yeah.
Referee.
James, staying on the subject of languages, you speak many languages. Is it 5 or 6?
Way more.
Enough.
Enough there?
Enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually impressed by how you also play with languages, but the most important one that I respected the character that you play, because Skandal, was Isindebele, because Isindebele is one of those languages you hardly see them on the screen, you know. So when you did that, you did a lot from people Bakumpumalanga, Kwamhlanga. It was a representation to actually finally see themselves on television. You were sort of like few of the pioneers of Isindebele language, you know. So I want to know how did that come about, and also was it choice yari director for you to actually play Isindebele, or was it something that you suggested, as Moses is saying, there's a liberation to actually suggest some of the things go culture and Skandal?
Go guy.
Culture as Skandal.
Oh, culture. I thought you were saying go couching.
No,
It
couch.
sounded like.
Oh,
Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah.
No, if you want to say the secret is the couch, that's cool. You know, not a platform for the controversy, but you know, we can go that direction.
Okay, now I can safely say I had to make a choice. So ke tlhakele kwa Ndebele, and I ke Batsonga, and we speak mostly Sepedi. So nkacho ke re Matebele a nkgodisitse. So ke re ke a checka di thak tsa Mapedi di tletse mo TV.
Oh.
Thak tsa Mazulu di tletse, Maxhosa ba tletse. Asanga ka bona thak ya Ndebele.
Yeah.
And batting and baba guera sometimes.
Yeah.
O tshwara po ka Sindebele ati leta iketang esenranyeng le ke phenomali le tinini. They don't do that.
Yeah.
Le bona bana le kraga. So I had to make sure le nna gore okay, I learn and understand different thugs. Cause o ka re wa mo checka wa mo tlhokomela mdala is a different thug. I say thug in chains and o tshwara di Rambo, o tshwara di gun mo pela batho. No, o bereka ka intellect ya motho. You understand? So then got okay, mutho o decent and o disciplined. So Ndebele sometimes aba ba tlhakantse le dilonyana tse byao. Understand?
Okay.
So got okay, let me associate them with good people or good thugs.
Oh, okay.
Or thugs in color.
Yeah.
You understand? Then from Mogaran, okay, bambudzisitse gore di language tse o leng fluent ka tsona ke tsefe. And then ona no re daman re ka e bereka byang taba because ne le tukullo, there was a Pedi name. But now because I said I'm comfortable with Isindebele, then they checked Isindebele surnames, and then Wagror Bomatlangu, Bo Skosana, Bontuli, they've been used before. So Sindane took the cup. Then Garno, plus I've got friends Baha Sindane, then I will learn their clan names. And then when it happens, sometimes the surname or somebody from the same surname, then it will be easier for me. Then Satena Sindebele, first line Yaba Isindebele, Ntlamolo, at least he was familiar with Isindebele, or he is familiar with Isindebele, but obviously more na tlhoka thuso na bolela gore okay le se nga betha njani ra tlhakantsha isindebele ra tlhakantsha sepitori saso but it felt so good gore mandebele I receivile monate my portrayal ya character and the usage ya isindebele and from that ka thola komkhulu for isindebele drama enedlala ko DSTV.
Okay.
I got it after that moment ya gore I used isindebele and ke tletse thug ya mandebele ya mondebele and then from mowe nabampa a lighter character that side kay bolaya leon
Because you're dope.
but yeah, it was a very good feeling to represent Amandebele and receive the love I received from the very first episode. Mo gibethileng line ngering na simambane bekade ngilangazele lokuyibona lo chamsana so msana it's used for different reasons kokasi so then kai beregisa lena cause ya beregisi and ogara wa checka now batho ba baya ba beregisa ba bantshi ba sambitsa ka yona that name and it worked.
So umsana is it not equivalent ya la ka speedy bana le pueng wa baramsha before motho ya go kome?
It is.
Engomate.
It is, but sometimes or most of the time ya berekiswa mo strateng gore mata.
Oh.
Sana or chomiaka brayaka. Most pitori tsona le brayaka. So you can utilize it to say that, but it is known, well known gore msana ke autesa yangome.
No, that's beautiful. Moses, speaking of the idea representation, James said something about the fact that when he was growing up, he saw soldiers and he felt these people are saving people. I feel like actors, especially currently, they are actually doing that because they are bringing conversations that we hardly have. You know, I always tell people, nah, not an actor, but I love hanging around artists because I feel like they are always 5 years ahead of the society. By the time people understand the idea of consent, the artisticity discuss go theater, you know, so you get to know, okay, this is how you know, into sensing. So you get trusted with the one of the things that I'm trying to do more the Ink and Think podcast is to actually look at themes that are highlighted in things. So one of your storylines, character who plays somebody who has dyslexia. You know, so I want to know what did that mean for you, because you represented a community and Leona has a stigma associated to it. You know, when you think of somebody on Jalo, in your head you are thinking you know, so your character goes a mile to show us these are two things that can actually coexist. This person does not have the ability to write, but they are in as much as intelligent as the regular person. So can you actually talk about that as well?
Well, as much as law is complex, because remember, I affected about to so I had to read a bit Kayona, but for me it was easier to relate because Naga Tatar, which is a speech impediment. So for anybody in a way, although Engwe has to do with writing and reading, but Engwe has to do with speaking, and both are means of communication in a way. So impossible moraunyana because Ketomilo started in primary school around grade 5. And I could understand the struggles the character got through because of that. Dilo tsa affect her more your own confidence and self-esteem, you know. Dilo tsa ba le difficulty in communicating because of the communicator an idea that you have, you know, just like Mutwana in dyslexia may think of something but fail who like we are in words in terms of typing or writing or whatever. Just like Mutwa Stataran. I can think of something like James you know. So I could relate personally to community area because of my speech impediment. So yeah, man, nearly interesting, because I had to go back, you know, to where I started my own journey with this kind of thing. though I did 20 years, but as I said, they are similar, you know, because it took time, man. It took years. Ke hopola ke le go after and having to approach a lecturer ke re bona ke kgona tshwara script mo nna ke bale di line ke ireng, but when I have to deliver these lines ke dripe, and you know how almost staging would dripe ha ka mkho, like you can just lose the whole thing. Wa kre bila o lebetse the story or the scene e ya kae from more, you know. Mara ho tsia nako, such people ba hloka fela grace, you know. O tla wish o ka in the world that we live in, we could just be like really grace man,
Yeah.
towards each other, and re tlhalohanyane gore le he utlwa. I remember my father, sorry, like go tswa hanyane mo yona. My father had a friend back since ba hola, are this friend le nana le flop ya o starter, and ba mo fella pelo ha bolele ba staka ba hey man bulela o reng. That's not how you relate le batho ba ba. Just like motho ana le dyslexia, if a faitse ho bala something, you don't relate with them ka enga eo and what able understanding, you know. So I do hope hore somehow that storyline rutile batho ba rena hore it's important just to ba le some grace towards such people, able understanding, you know. Yeah, we know hore as a disability as such, it's just an impediment nyane e leng hore e teng a re tshwane re le batho. You know, you may have your own flaws. Maybe it's how the jumpis, or the one only one, or the connects how, but Rana bangs are not the jumpis. Herobola, Rastagastagayana, or Herbala, was Tagastagayana here and there. You know, I do hope for the story itself, because I loved how the writing team went about it. So I do hope it landed the way it was supposed to land. More audience in Yarina.
That's actually beautiful. How much research actually goes into that? That's one question. And then the second question, as a person, you just spoke about grace, you know, getting into the world of acting. Did it make you to be more lenient and graceful with but different? Because, you know, I get to come and watch theater makers and watch different shows, and I always leave with the perspective about I was probably too harsh on these people, maybe or maybe they have flaws, they are not as visible as my own flaws. So I want to know from you, which is the last part of the question, is it something that you naturally have as a person, or would you say getting into the world of acting
research. I don't think you can ever do enough research, you know, but research is important. It's very important, especially in our line of work, because we work with different themes, and some of these themes maybe you can't even relate to on a personal level, you know. And of course, research doesn't just mean typing something more Google look up. It helps. So now I'm going into the second part of your question. Acting is a study of life, so it helps to engage Lebato. Now for me, it has helped. Part of research for me, and I was saying this on a different platform the other time, Gary, just chilling limajitago kawash for me is research. You can take it from there, you know. How people think, you can take it from there. I'm just making an example like how I watch in J. Of course, at different places. Some people prefer restaurant or whatever, but now for now, chilling go kawash with Majita and listening to how they think and how they speak, for me is research. You know, questioning certain things, even in your own family, family gathering and stuff. Just observe how some people behave. Observe how they speak. It's a study of life. I wouldn't say I've always been now with how I would be able to give grace, but I do think studying this line of work has enabled me to be there, because the way go was a study of life. You know, you can play a drug dealer, you can play a police officer, a lawyer, a taxi driver, you know, people from different fraternities and walks of life and spheres of life. So it took an open mind, because then go after 2016, that was my first year, and I guess now an open mind. Now I'm walking into a community, a whole community. Remember the artist, it creates a whole community. And as artists.
Yeah.
And how can I call you like what? But daily miriri ka people ba bang ba irang. I've got my own opinions about bo cigarette bo ing, you know. But I had to like break out of my shell a little nagger, but more nagger an open mind. And you need to understand that people express themselves in different ways. You just because you come from a community they frown upon the tattoo and dyeing of hair does not mean that's the only way to live. So studying this, study of life has definitely enabled me to sort of be able to give grace, just open mind and understanding. I don't think one would be able to have understanding as a maintainer an open mind. That's just what I think.
It's beautiful, man. James, I don't know if you want to add to something.
All right. Yeah, I wanted to say something.
Please do.
Or no, as the actor, okay, not as an actor, na I believe gore ke na le pelo e pila ka tlhago. So, and acting leona in tutile gore ke you have to have a good heart. You have to be a good person. And leona is either you are good or you are not. So let us learn to be good people, because ereleba to remit and ka remit differently. And now if utlotoma wa kwatela motho gore a go irela something, a o koloti motho. You understand? Be a good person, or motho a ngoloti sele. It's ona le gore a re me botsena sekolo o patella ke batswadi. Then ba fitla mo tseleng setse ba lapa go patela or a go sana tšhelete. Wena wa ba kwatela batswadi. You understand? Just be a good person, or okay, jen setse la pallwa mo, let me do something. Let me maybe buy more fire and sell. Let me buy my sweets and then accumulate funds and then be able to pay for my studies. Oscar Toma wa kwatela motho ban o paletse go thusa ka something. So rena sometimes lady artist le tsone on kwatela ra ka o cast. You understand?
Not knowing the reason behind
Are we the reason? Cast sometimes okay re hola together. Okay, arangwale something. Then ngwala we come together ra castana ra perform. The next how cast wena omong osti not or you not in our circle. Go into now in yagarena, or at least let's accumulate funds, then maybe we will be able to cast other people next time than Reba Fetchelet.
Yeah.
But I can safely say the art let us remain being good people, because we deal with different people every day.
Yeah.
And I think we need to remind ourselves that being a good person doesn't cost much. In fact, it's free.
Very much so. Very much.
Being kind. Now, I always tell people, Hekili live on different platforms, just be kind towards one another. Come go James Abulela, you don't know what the next person delaying in their own lives.
Yeah.
I think as a society we will be able to avoid a lot of altercations through zona. For example, your road rage can be avoided by just trying to be kind. Yes, we know about driver's snacks or what, but how retaliate with the same kind of attitude or what are solving much. So just be kind. You don't know who the other person we are throughing. I mean, we are thousands. Babang gidi koloto. Baba we are through divorce. Just driving behind you. We don't live with drive. Una handle divorce through you. And when I woke up, why break us? Tell hanyana. Outlook go retaliate.
That makes sense.
That makes you so that if next time you are cast to play that particular character, then it's easier for you to go to that person. If maybe you can go to that person where it's a researcher or guy it's from afar. Okay, muto pila solo. then because you were kind to that person, it's easier for you to go to that person or to 1 2 3 or ke a bona man go ira 1 2 3 dintshang wa go motho o betha ka ditori tse tsotlhe now se tsona le backstory or additional backstory for your character. Yes.
That's beautiful. It makes me think of something. Since the both of you, I think you are where you are at a point a lot and you are public figures. I mean, 7:30 is mainstream TV, you know. So I'm just wondering, doesn't that make you? I'll start with you, Moses. Doesn't that make you too hard on yourself? You know, there are moments where let's say and unfortunately you have run out of kindness because this thing has to have to go both ways. You know, I understand Moses Kimotolo he's kind all the time, you know. But today he's exhausted. He had a long day, you know. You know. So I'm just wondering you guys being on television or you guys being public figures, does that also influence in a way maybe you want to express yourself some way, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you'll want to, but remember, in the age of social media.
Yeah, digital times.
Social media can make you or break you, my brother. A lot of things, they are email in translation, you know. So, hey, well, personally, I get James, but now I am hard on myself sometimes. Because I had to change a lot of things the way it's barely before Kitla on mainstream TV come cover like that thing. None of them molong perifela, you know, because I'm very simplistic. Even if you go to where I live, right, or Dimanorata simplicity. But whenever you have to look a particular way, you know, because as much as people will ask for the picture, you always have to be in the mood for the picture, even if you're not in the mood. Also, change be in the mood. And now, imagine outside the picture about and also feel confident.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah, it's hard, and our people expect us to always be in the mood for the picture, and for interactions and so on. But sometimes, when you're gonna fella, you know, we mamele or just go to the shops, that loaf of bread and whatever that you're taking and go home, but you can't because unfortunately I don't really life anymore, you know. So yeah, you have to think about it. You have to consider a lot of things and also remember in the age of social media, it can make you or break you.
Yeah,
you know.
I think people have to be gracious as what
of course. Yeah.
But also it comes
with remember, I mean, we have how many viewers now? Millions of viewers.
Yeah.
You can't expect all of them to be the same.
No, they can't.
Yeah. Now, I worked in e-hailing and I remember there was a guy seleka mutsi to a service station. Service center rather. And you know that guy said something. I'll never forget his words. My brother, you can't expect every client to how I be friendly. You can't expect that. As much as when every client almost smile and offer whatever that you're offering, whether a corn or a king, but you can't expect them to always be friendly. It goes back to what we're talking about now. People are going through different things. You know, otrofa to your biggest smile, you know, laughter and whatever, and then I offer something else. But you know, so yeah, grace okay, fine.
Yeah.
Or it's one of those ones. It's okay, yeah. But you know, some people don't even ask for the picture. They just take those pictures.
Yeah.
But if you grab it by your neck, have your phone and take a picture.
Yeah.
And you have to, you know, address it. Or my brother or my sister, please ask for it. I won't say no. I hardly say no to the picture as long as I approach your moto friendly, respectful, especially if it's a malabato, because you can't disregard the people that I'm with or the person that I'm with. Picture. You don't even ask why in picture
Entitlement.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because once you refuse or you say, hey, maybe not now, maybe later. Yeah, but we watch you every day, but when you treat us like this, and I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Allow me to just have this meal and then we're gonna take pictures and so on. But yeah, man. Yeah, you're not guys are a bit hard on themselves because you can't live life as you used to before over public figure.
That makes sense. Comes with the territory,
Yeah.
James.
Unfortunately.
What about you? Do you get hard on yourself?
Sometimes. Yeah, because sometimes can alore maybe I'm too kind. Maybe I'm too kind to these people because obviously now and then tsanzere molong tsanzere reka something.
Yeah.
Tsanzere kai maybe batswadi ba o Roma obvious. Ba tlo Roma. Wena ko ntlong o sala ngwana.
Yeah.
Ha o
Ga gona matala
celebrity,
ka
public
yeah.
figure.
Hona celebrity.
Sala ngwana. If needs be tshwantse go iwe mabitleng go ye piwa why?
Why?
Tshwantse le wena o ya e ka se be gore hey o le wa actor why yena sai? Ba tlo botsisa bora ngwana le bora mogolo gore o le dintshang ka ena. A go active mo.
Camera-
A re active
camera
tsa mo
di-
bereka.
yeah.
But again you teach her discipline. Gore cause wa itse no ge o ile mmolong there is a possibility how to after 2 hours even if no reka borotho fela.
Yeah.
So now wa itse gore if tshwantse ka montlong o ya mmolong and no plan no ka montlong o tsoka 8 tshwantse o tsoka bo ma 6
Yeah.
or 6:30 or 7 if wa itse gore tshwantse o ye kae ka nako e itseng if o nyako yo feta go mmolong you'll have to go an hour before so that at least you allow time your audience to take your selfies and stuff because obviously if re ba tima tsona dilo tseo batho ba ntho ba e bolelang ke nnete gore ro tloela o bogela show and o kana no maybe ke motho mo one motho a tsamaya botsa ba bang o botsa ba bang o ro a check a million e otle ba stop le o bogela show o setse ba tlo o bolela gampe ka mogwa a bolelang se gore social media will make or break you if you are kind ko mongwe you are not kind because now are maybe by 10 o tseya picture le all nna sometimes ke irabe ya ona if motho o fitlhile pele ke tseya le bona pele a o tlo fitlha mole o tlo nya go fohla batho ba bang no ke ba ruta le bona or no are berekeng ka discipline ka gore mang o fitlhile neng
Yeah.
ska thoma wa fohla motho o nya go tlo fohla le go ya le godimo
Yeah, can you still apara mask?
but mask ya ibere ditaba di mahlong
Yeah, taba di mahlong.
sometimes vane ka
Hey, we tried
apare
that one a lot, yo.
I berekile.
Ka mask.
vane ka apare le
This guy is
sa
a guy.
mara ai
Ba ba
a le
da rai.
mperekele. So sometimes ke no tloela kere sometimes ke tsene go mmolong ke no recognize ke security or maybe teller then from mo ke tswe freely gona a teng matsatsi a lucky mara ke ra mang kwa bati but yona vele ir teacher discipline you teacher gore always be clean because sometimes I get the artist tsela tsa gore an artist should be an artist and
Yeah.
you have to be seen gore you are an artist
Ska kama meriri.
ska kama meriri
Yeah.
ska wa apara teki tsa ditšhila no please if ai ka gore ya ka choice ya mo
Yeah, it's
gore wena o nyaka go ba artist e bjang artist
Yeah,
tsela tsa gale or
Yeah.
the artist tse tsa no
Yeah.
or o nyaka go ba artist ya o te tlhokomela you
Makes
understand
sense.
so it doesn't mean you have to buy diaparo tsa o dura or reke di Gucci or and so forth no reka tseo di afforda check your kwena o itseng wallet ya
budget ya
kwena o
yeah.
tsebang gore o afforda eng a afforda eng
Yeah.
do not allow batho the stigma se se leng teng gore no the artist tshwantse di apare di Gucci di tsamaya ka di Mercedes di tsamaya no a re ska itseng ntwe wena affordability ape mo di atseng gona le dry season
Yeah.
and the dry season e gonna last go feta di season tse tsotlhe you understand so tshwanetse re itse re we save up for
Those dry
season
seasons,
e o kgonega reka dilo cash reka ntlo cash reka koloi cash o be sharp because now you will never know gore your next meal yo tswa kae because re batho ba attend the audition now and then but the people abai understanding to ba nyaka go bona tsama ka Mercedes abanya go bona ka mo taxing ga o tsene ka mo taxing e bangare ba o botsisa ba gana a o bereke le na o ya ka o ya mmerekong sometimes o tlonya go mmutsisa gore gane wena o ya
Wena o
mmerekong
bereke na,
so why o tsamaya ka taxi
Ba tsaya le di-picture
so
tsa ba di-
we don't want gore e feletse setse e fitla go but we would love gore our audience le yona e re utlwele e itse gore e understand le gore le re
Have
re
boundaries. Have
Yeah.
boundaries. Yeah.
yes ya di boundaries ke a gopela
Yeah, please.
of which it's not easy sometimes wa itse motho a thabile thata
I get excited.
motho excitement too
Yeah.
much excitement and then ka o nyaka o foster gore a re tse selfie o mong last weekend o re hawu manje isithombe mfethu samathomo
How
andumedisa
do we these?
and sabobedi approach yae ke re
Yeah.
senzeni
Uh-huh.
a re asishaye C1 then ke re woza then ngiyammonza ke re no uqala ngokuthi sawubona mfethu kunjani kuyaphileka then bengibawa nje obengicela nje ukuthi isithombe C1 nje then ke re I know thatha 4 thatha 5 then ukwazi uba let's say different gore
Yeah,
post
yeah,
wherever you want to mara navele ke ayikhalemela ke abakhalema vele if motho a tlipila o tella motho ke tsamang lena ka mara re tswa re tsamaya
We got a Jameson al question speaking of, he spoke about dry seasons. Nah.
Okay.
Is there a point, James, you think about it, you got to answer it now. Moses, is there a point where you wanted to quit and give up? Lena, you also spoke about the fact that there's this waiting period between those gigs. Is there a time you feel like, oh, I think I probably took a wrong career path. Let me go something.
Yeah.
And also, how do you manage to get back into it?
Hey man, you know, every acting or arts is a calling. As it cliche fella, and I think for some of us it is a calling. Because yes, there was that point. Remember, also high school Levato. Lefeza high school you study different professions, omonki doctor, omonki rang, omonki accountant, we're now artists. You graduate probably same time or they graduate later or you graduate later, whatever. They start working and I can't find work. Ke hopola ke tsamaya the ad agency, almost all of them in Johannesburg. Ke drop a CV, ke re, guys, I'm a voice over artist. Helena Lisa. The core doesn't even have to be hore ke actor in your ad or whatever. Even if I can just do a voice over nyana fela, I'm willing. The production house, I dropped CVs everywhere, my brother. It doesn't have to be acting. Where I come from, Valley, we did different disciplines within filmmaking. So I'm willing to even learn. I can even be a cast driver. That's how far I was willing to go. You know, no offense to cast drivers, we value them, we love them. Valley, it's important in production. You know, so yeah, the kind of thing Valley. But is this the right path? Because my peers, Babang Baspana government, they've got benefits, they've got their own medical aids and what. I'm still more medical aid to old lady. Kind of thing. And old lady is struggling because of Obatlonkin Saddam for to learn. But she can't because she's worried. Or if I remove this person from my medical aid, a car accident or whatever, or a Luala, Robert Kabian, because it was a problem. You know. Then for me that was the point, but is this the right path? But actually this was a calling for you, because just like James Abulela or Nanale, other aspirations out of arts, now at some point they can go by a mechanical engineer. Mainly, maybe not mainly, but yeah, okay, Bishop, mainly because of my father was he still is a professional mechanical engineer. So you hold a more engineering a lot, you know, and stuff. So I guess but maybe engineering and not arts. Because when I know I'm an Uber driver, I can't find work. Seleki shooter, Mobango 2019, the whole of 2020, I was working more Uber, and you know, 2020 nearly young.
Yeah,
for all of us, you know, man. That's where you start asking yourself such questions, but is this the right path? Because I'm not getting any gig. I'm not even getting a voice gig. I'm not even getting like a job behind the scenes in Yana. You know all these people, there's nothing. Hey, you know. So that's why for me, yes, I shot a project before Scandal, but Scandal has and still is one of the biggest blessings in my life right now.
Oh, that's beautiful. would you go back to doing body Uber? Let's say
I would.
dry season comes again.
I would. I respect Mergo e-hailing, but it made me respect any job via customer services. It's not easy working with people, working in customer services. And to a particular extent, I understood why some people who are in customer services, particularly Babalimo government, tend to be so rude. You know, and I get an excuse as such. Yes, we are rude or wrong, but ba feletsa ba be like a mask. Because of everything that they deal with on a daily basis, o feletsa ba le mask hore le ho mo approach o dumisa pele ka frown. You know? Yeah. So customer services is not easy. I worked more Uber from 2019, 2020, 21, a bit 22. Yeah. So how many years when I really met them? 4. You know?
Yeah.
So I learned a lot in terms of customer service. I learned a lot more Merogong, and I have a lot of respect for people who work in customer services, especially those who work more e-hailing. Or more social media or wherever. E-hailing is trending till today.
Yeah.
Just the other day, Nabali Mulita Bembala go Swani House go about the payments and like put on matata.
Yeah.
E-hailing.
I saw a video last time, I think, on social media.
Yeah.
This old guy. That lady was basically harassing that old man, and he was like, to saying, help
exactly. And imagine that they didn't give it the other way around.
Yeah, it was gonna be war.
Yeah, unfortunately, social media, choose what's wrong and what's right.
Yeah, and also we don't care. Something that you did mention at some point today, or we don't care about context. You know, like video, but and then that's when the video starts, and then we get to see.
Then it's side.
Exactly.
It's
very another problem with social media. Like when I see a clip, I want to understand what actually happened. You know, unfortunately, when you ask that, some people think, you are victim blaming. You know, because people are mean. You know. James, are you ready to answer the question?
All right.
Hey.
Yes, we say this season.
And
season last time dry season.
Yeah.
Modi ate. Oga any other artist.
Of course.
Too much or give it mogele. And the law na go fitla or we sustain. It's difficult as well. Because now oga crea example like a theater. Theater lasts usually it's 4 weeks rehearsal, 4 weeks performance. After that, it's child. From there. Because if we maybe a performance on the previous show, I will know caster on
for the next
show.
one.
Of which it's tough again. Now I've learned to do things on my own. We decided 2014 le Majitas, Bisiso Quinana, the late Tato Muyeng, Lehlogono Letlauka. We started a company, we called it Blank Page Entertainment. Then we had our own shows. Because now we couldn't afford to pay for the space, go any other theater. Because Nerle Havile State Theater, but we couldn't pay. For a show, beat audience. Then we decided, no, let's open our own theater. Then rare honal spaces in Chimotan Nervata Ela ya continue showgrounds. Not only theater that beautiful theater. Only to find out Horban City 2 Lovan City light they sold them. And imagine or Babia. Then Ranyaka space, any other available space. Then that's when we started independent theater movement. Rabaldi independent theaters, then Rabula Theater, Ravita, the station theater, because it was at the King Fire Station, Bosman. So that the station theater, because it's in the station.
Yeah.
Then from Mohata, the TX Theater, then other theaters, dealing independent.
Yeah.
Then from Mo, at least in Artezamela, Retirela show, then after Mo, we split or Nereta 70-30. So you don't pay anything. You just take 70%, yeah, molobating, 30%, of which it's not enough for us.
Of course.
But at least near thusanyana mola le mola re patele rente re ire. But obviously after Sbu's passing, then we had to at least nyana re heal before re bua mo gaming. But the healing is longer,
Of course.
because it's dry. Yeah, but very dry. And no, na ka negenya go decide us. My cousin unale muchara. So gare why not? Because the other thing gare di apala no. Because nearly 2020 and then wa bona re ke COVID. I will not rope for my app.
Yeah.
You're going to give up on the legends that the art, and over checker COVID sadly, but what look of
Yeah.
and Mushara era something. So why not join?
Of course. Ke mmereko, Lord. Yeah.
At least.
Eish.
Then Maragarno, let me rethink this idea in Tlelang.
Yeah.
Then maybe get la actor as somebody ever can come sharing one day, go playing.
So what's a research?
I had to get the research. But again, ke gopola or why ke le mo di arts.
No, it makes sense.
Calling.
Makes sense.
You understand? So
Yeah.
we are here to tell stories.
Yeah.
We are here to tell stories, and if I also bolele story, obviously, but whoever or you will tell stories.
Go and be a
through
storyteller.
acting,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
Actually,
Actually,
a re taole re le batho ba modimo, re batho ba metsi. You understand? So if wena letlozi la lo nyaka ko metsing, tshantse no ya ko metsing.
Yeah.
If lo nyaka ro bethe moropa o tlo betha moropa. So we are telling stories, but at the end of the day re fodisa batho. Because if somebody aga botsa somebody eish ke bona mang a performer ke a fall motho wa botse maka because there is a role that you play in their lives. That's why o kry the most of the shows go tletse audience tletse because ba fall. They believe gore ba ya tupeng ba ilo rapela ba ile theater, because I believe gore if there is one thing, or most of the things sitting being next to God, acting is part of it. I feel I feel like I'm preaching this to these people.
Oh.
You understand?
Yeah.
So if Batama Bali happy at the end of the day, what decide as from today, ke nyaka go acta o kra setse ba nyaka di number tsa gore ke na le ngwana o ira di acting ke kopa gore o mo thuse. If gwa gonega ra ba thusitse ba bantši, and they will testify one day. You understand? But we can't take credit right o ke mo thusitse tsantsang phe 40 million ga ira tšhelete. No, re biditswe ba botlhe. Maybe o ba mo rometse ko wena when at this point in time o gobela gae.
Yeah.
Tshwanetse mo thwasise. You understand? O fetsa mo thwasisa le ena be gobela yo thwasisa ba bang kopeng or ayo fodisa ba bang kopeng. But yeah, at some point I wanted to quit, but I had to sit down with myself and ke check gore okay ke tlhaka le di art. We've been trying to do things for ourselves. Then January, Masai Sipuru, I'm phoning our chief. We tell nyaka go cast. Now is the time. And Caster, the tragedy of Samuel Omunye, carrying the Genesis, thing. The beginning, Ratoma Kayona, and then Rai performa go TX. Yeah, Rai Dlala thing. It was successful. Then it was part of the winning shows. Say Badi Busang and then Badi for funding after their theater week. Then Barbita Raperayara performer. Then that was May. Yeah, I think May. Then I invited people. Luckily, one of the writers, the scandal act. I'm on a show. I felt over a show Arnon. This guy, we busy go story room. We're writing for a particular character, and we believe James can play it.
Wow.
Then I got a call, Barry Chief, we would like you to come for the auditions. Okay, send you a self-tape. Then give me brief. Ke badile brief ka bala everything. Ai a ke mo ke bone gore au le ge ba re mo ke nna mo.
Yeah.
Mo ke nna mo ke then but no shoota ka pela ka phone we romela ka I'm not going to do that. Ka kra studio so
Yeah.
hona this other guy ke amitsi ka kra studio ka ya go studio seo ka mmontsha ka a set up di camera. I'm better vele that self tape ka kra somebody ampalla di line tse ding I submit by rata bampitsa ka ya gape for live auditions bampitsa gape ngare go audition ile ga 3 or 4 ke ra mo ish ngare lo mbetha why bampitsa ga nchinchi so but e rate na call mfit it's na call ke mo ke dumetseng gore ai gaile naka ke naka so nna ke motho tshepetseng gore nako ke nako and it will fitla at the end of the day it can last 10-20 years but at the end of the day it will fitla but if fitla wira if fitla you create already now.
Are you preparing yourself?
Are you preparing yourself? Because sometimes you go ke emetse nako aga mara ontsi so polisher whatever e unyakang gore e be successful. Polisher that craft. So then I was polishing this craft because Salaga Beregal Masai, but now I was a director on that show. So then Garan, now is your time man to direct me. Not knowing hore itlo bila maba.
Yeah.
You understand? Then that's why till today I respect that show.
It's poetic.
I can't also anytime.
Poetic.
Chief, I cannot tell it. I'm coming. I'll perform. I'm going there.
It's one of my favorite shows. You know, we've actually done it more podcasting. We're still gonna do it because of there's a lot of angles that we are trying to like the themes they're dealing with things. We're actually trying to understand the nuance around the story. Determinism, man. That's a very beautiful story. You know. Moses Kopana guy, this guy.
ETV scandal.
For real.
Yeah. And everyone assumed Raitane. Mainly
because you have chemistry on TV.
Yeah, I think Bautlu happened to Pretoria because he spent a lot of time in Pretoria.
Oh.
I'm from Pretoria. Because I think was a month later and after a month or so.
It's in August.
It's in July.
August.
Yeah. But we are auditioning the people babatlileng for character Mdala, but we think we like one person, Barry James Tolle. Do you know him? I don't know him. But serious. What's up, Pitori? Serious, but hey.
That's a groovy guy fella.
No.
No, get out the way my boots are you know, like, but how fitla ko America or I get South Africa, but I know a brother from God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Assuming or you maybe you bumped into each other.
Yeah, and then what happened?
So James Tolle man cause barata next time but actually choose but he doesn't know yet stress so Alex
yes
yeah because levels as you know it now nearly on location before so we used to shoot go Alex there was a club somewhere nearby rentile nyana or shoot go there so that's where we met and of course I witse hore o tlokopana le motho eleng hore o tlo tsia bang you don't know only to find the raw but mo sweet go nyane ya batho moruti wa bona as a bra and man we've been since then. Yeah, this year it's 4 years now in July.
Yeah.
July, August, it's 4 years we've worked together. And we've picked each other up, I would say, maybe you know, in terms of story or whatever, or performance or what. Re fana feedback here and there. Ra butsana, sometimes or yena utlwe nna ke bolela something but would you really put it like that? How about maybe so? It makes more sense come ko. Then re ba grand. Right now we are working on other stuff outside of Scandal. So yeah, you will meet the people you are meant to meet in this life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And I'll meet him by mistake.
by mistake.
Even if the kawana usimunate, but nesi mistake, we level.
Purpose was
Yeah,
served.
otlo bona hore maybe utsulega lesson da. Yeah. No matter how you separated with the person, it wasn't by mistake.
Yeah. It's actually beautiful. Friendship was actually formed. I saw what you guys are actually doing hiking. They're gonna pay me for advertising hiking. So yeah, I know that's actually beautiful. I wanna do something. James, if you were doing a podcast and you wanted to ask Moses a question, what would be that question? And Moses, if you were doing a podcast, what question would you ask James? In the meantime, I want to look for phoning. It's 3 names for each of you. People people that you've actually encountered on your journey. So I want to ask you, what do you think of those people? So we'll start with the Book of Moses. Shoot. Question that you want.
That I would want to ask James. Yeah, that's quite a thinker, yo. That's quite a thinker because I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And that's not personal, right?
No, any question. Any
In case I hit below the belt.
No, any question. Any question. Because our thing is that when you are a content creator, you are trying to create a world that people are going to get to know you a little bit better, you know. And if I asked you 30 questions, there's always going to be that person. Why didn't you ask them this? You know what I mean? So it's never enough.
Yeah, that's the thing, Valley, because I'm sure Lina later today they will get something a bit more difficult or So I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, James, you want to start first in the meantime, Sansana Khan.
Okay, now the question that I have, where to from now? Let's say your journey with Scandal has to end.
Yeah.
Where to from now?
Yo. Wherever Mumudimo Abatlangoli Keko thing, really. Just like Noble earlier on, the plan radiates are yes, but Mujimu can it's on declare to fruition or you know. So yeah, the plans detain because I'm also in business. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't believe more income stream A1, especially as an artist, because anything can just happen and then things end abruptly. So I'm hoping the business ideas and some of the ventures that I have already started, they are pass, so that I can move more into that. But I do know definitely my journey with the arts is not going to end anytime soon. So the arts sincerely end as well, even if maybe it's in a different way, maybe not in performance or what, but I remain in the arts, but I also remain in business as well. Yeah.
See yourself producing or directing at some point?
Directing, definitely. Producing, go after, but I keep a lot those who studied producing go after. Amen. I've got a lot of respect for them. They go through a lot. Not horizontally easy, of course. Even camera operators go through a lot in what they do. You know, producing, I'm not sure as such. I could try it, yeah, but I'm more into directing and writing than into producing.
That makes sense. So it's not a question about Moses.
I get why I'm so it.
Any question.
Not James like anything. So maybe I've asked
everyone.
Maybe I've asked him, a lot of maybe everything in Gamutsang. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay. What like hope
Maybe get like nahana her fetsa engwe e o batlang go etsa e.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't believe ne ke lebetse leina la ga ke Kitu ka Sonka.
Yes, I was kitumetse.
I was Kitumetse ne
I was
ke
kitumetse ka Sonkola.
ka Sonkola.
Yes.
You and her have a beautiful chemistry on TV, you know, and ke rata ka tsela le gore ga le kopana le tsena into those pockets tsa Setswana, you know. She'd use phrases that you Batswana hardly use them, you know, on a daily to daily basis. Those are the things that di balang ko buke. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
You know? So she's one of the people ba le gore ke batla go botsisa ka bona.
Okay.
So how's it working with her?
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, as I was saying earlier on, James, you never know how to kopana le motho o mo yang.
Yeah.
You're only hoping for the best. Vele, you know. But meeting Auskitu, I can't even remember or nearly 2020, ma'am. I'm sure 22 back then. She, like only this spirit man says so warm, you know. And she believes in because there was a scene that we did. I can't even remember what was happening, but it was in the scene. And she was like, you know, I haven't hugged all of you as my children in the story. As an actor, so that I can understand, or as a character, how do I relate with you?
Yeah.
So get started one by one. I think Utomile Kaka who plays Toriso. Ataka Kanna. Ataka Kalebza who plays Tiro. Ebatakan. You know, how does it feel to hold each of you?
Yeah.
I was kidding so warm. If there's one word that I can use to describe her, you warm. Except friendly and wara, she's looking warm.
Yeah.
Mazazi Atwan, of course. But I hope it's an spanning a keyboard now she's having a bad day. Maybe she has had bad days. I've just never seen that. You know? Wow, she's always willing to help Vele Kenalo Musakir Podcast and Twe. Yeah, or maybe Gaibia because Kibelela Spitori. So I have to tap into my young days Google FM. You know, you hope or no can about so and she say, no, you can be a sore, but let's run the scene and see. She's always willing to run the scene. You know, very, very friendly, very warm.
That's beautiful. She's very eloquent.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that's what they did. Go scandal with this with new face. Yalona, you know, bringing in people gonna bring new ones into the language. Your Matthews Ranzoma, James Sithole, Moses. You know. It's actually beautiful.
They knew what they were doing.
They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. And then the person on and it's actually your siblings, Kamogelo, Gemare.
Kamogelo Mare.
She was
teaching me how to pronounce it.
Yeah. How do you pronounce it?
Kamogelo Mare.
Mare. Okay. Do you know what it
I have no idea.
Okay, please do ask
I
her.
have no idea, but I will ask her.
Okay,
yeah.
And then Lebogang Msiza,
yes.
How's it working with them?
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, if there's one thing that I fear about leaving Scandal, I don't know even if it's not leaving but working on a different project. I can't see if I'm going to meet such warm people.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm so skeptical because of I met such remember but after all of them. So I was kind of the one receiving them and not even sure Lebza maybe ke tsena kwanyana ho motlhalohanya but grand. Today we enjoy working with each other, ra prankana re etsang, we joke a lot. You know, I'm learning a lot from Yena. I don't know if he's learning anything from me. Only he can say.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, now I love working with Lebza. I love working with Kamu. With Kamu it was different because remember Kamu abone.
Yeah.
Well wabona but short sighted a lot. So well more category blind, of course. And as people who are able, renally or treat people who are differently abled come common. You know?
Yeah.
The things that you take for granted. It's like umufa Ken nje usamulela yona, for example,
Yeah.
she has to first
Aye, utlwa pele.
feel and so on. Yeah. So wabona bereka le ka mo has been a learning curve for me. I realized hore people who are differently abled come rely on other senses. So she's so good. She's okay. I fell in the room. She knows what going on. The time over Lela, she knows. Taps going wara. You know, but Lena, such a warm person. She's so friendly. But Wabatwani, of course.
Yeah.
So maybe Bagasebi warm in the same way. But definitely, she is friendly. She's willing to learn because remember for Yena. You know, it's a first gig, so Utseni sort of a trainer as
Yeah.
well. It's like, but now you're training in the work itself on the floor, you know. So we had to somehow be patient, Eliana, not expect her to know perhaps what James already knows as Motwatwang training, you know. Yeah, so it's been interesting, man. It's been interesting. I really pray, Hore, further on in my journey, most panning say, I meet such people. I meet such warm people who are always willing, for example, to run lines with you. Because in this industry, some people you have to beg them to run lines. Babamba filo garuena, you're using them to practice country. Even it's not even about that. But remember, Artwani and the training Artwani, what James learned, because the theater may be different from what I learned. Go after, even though it's about the same thing, but the approach may be different. You know. Yeah, but I feel blessed to have met such people, to have worked with such people. Not to say we're perfect or young. I mean, everyone only flows high, but it's been lovely. It's been lovely working with Auskitu, Lebza. Lebza is nothing like his character, by the way. Because, yeah, some people think Otwanale character.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it looks very, very personal.
So Leo posted a video or what, or say hi, and they're like, but how do you laugh with this person? And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
the character this guy, he's 100% different from character high. He's very friendly. He's
Yeah.
joke. It's been lovely, man. It's been lovely. All of them.
Nah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Huge fan of them. Ka bobedi la bogang le kamogelo. Ke ne ke batla go botsisa about Matthews Ranzoma.
Okay.
Great friend of mine. Love him. Just want to know what was it like working with him, and what do you make of him?
So I met Matthews 2018, I think. 2018 go the Station Theatre. So ne blank page in the monologue festivals and duologue festival. So he was part of the duologue. Then nebaetsa a play King Walls and Pillows. I think that's Walls and Pillows. Mxolisi Masilela. Yes. So I was stage manager and producer of the entire festival. So I met him there. Obviously, nathela le go thing. Nathela blind. So nekenya go idlala thai show. Nekenya go idlala at some point. So kya mutisa gore so umpanning script sa this show cause kenya go yeta. I'm not going to do that, unfortunately, because Lena Gairata show, so I'm part of it. And then Rakopanamo, then we clicked from there until Ketla got the auditioning, the scandal. On the day, so the auditioning la matomogili one, second time ba meet, then atlo just for chemistry check, then. So we met ke go Tembisa a day before. Ne ke le go Tembisa go out here ka ba re ke veja. So ga no a re ye ro jiga go Matthews da ro metela around. Then just to have a feel ya gore go bjang go scandal and stuff. Then a re ba mbuditse re ka usane wetla and tshantse go thusa ka di line. Ke na di line tse baya. Because I shoot almost the whole day. But then I was excited about that. Then and Sipitori, then are okay, script CC and Tusenyana Moga is in the vele, so that Lena Gevete is in the vele, Rahono Klikapi.
Yeah.
Then Rasizana Mo, then Sedzero Fitla on the floor, it was massive. Like Grace was like this.
Yeah.
Because why not Anyagangui achiever?
It's working.
It's working and it will work. Then from Moe, my first scene, Scandal, I was with him. So we rehearsed prior, because we didn't go Tembis, Lena Nabloma Tembisa. Then we prepared scene Eritloidlalang together. Together.
Yeah.
Then I can safely say he is a brother. He is a good man, and is easy to work with him. And there is a lot to talk about, and there is less to talk about. But I enjoyed working with Matthews. I can work with him in the future, and I believe we will meet in the future, and we will make the best out of us, because we are the best, I believe.
Okay.
I believe if combined we can make a bomb. So okay, Spanile Mnatili Matthews, and there was no day more getting rekwatelani or asangara boledi sana pila. Nampitsa mfo, mfo or msana, cause nerenya gore I lende taba ya msana and
Develop the chemistry from outside into the screen.
yes, cause ka character ke mfana monna, or even in reality. But I respect him.
Yeah.
I respect him. And yeah, but okay, umpitsa mfo, then kimitsa msana. So meaning kikomunyana monna, then na ke mfo. Mara still we can use mfo together. Kimitsa mfo, then ampitsa mfo till today. So chemistry nailed thing before Scandal, ikhudile ka Scandal, and now it's much tighter.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do justice if two ladies ba Scandal would not be the way Selenga tentle le bona Makoma le Mamarum.
Yes.
Yeah. Was it like working with them?
Okay, I met Makoma 2020. Neretsa show go Pretoria by Bongane Mkhacho. It was a film. And then but nere asangara kopana. Kopanika reading, and then ratlara kopana happen later for not screening. I don't know what okay, nane ke fela ke ya ko setting. But we were never part of the same storyline. Same storyline. Oh, neresko sininge one together. We have never. So nane ke shoota ko Mabopani, then bona ne ba shootela mo Pitori. So asangara tlhakana mo scening and stuff, but I knew gore there was a Makoma. Then ba re ro tlhakana ko Scandal le ona ne ke mitsi, and then we talked ganyane, and then ga fitla go Scandal ke oh ke kwena, then ra klika cause ne ba re ro dlala couple. So ra klika. It was a bit difficult because you meet this person and go mumpia, and then you have to play a couple. So now you guys have to learn each other. Okay, asanga katlala loena before, then now Oscar Grobanung pressa di button is wrong. Omotswara offside, and then bathoma ba nong lela ke di cheap. So I had gore ke butsise gore okay, o comfortable guy, I was a comfortable guy. Then obviously the director there would say, are you comfortable? Are you comfortable with this? Are you not comfortable with that? Then no, I'm comfortable. Then it was easy for us to work together, because Lorna, we had to run the lines prior and then recheck the chemistry if is it working but if the director by rata, then orare, we're doing everything right. So it was, still is, good to spana liena re bereka monate. And then with Mavutela, ke kopane ne le Fufu.
Before
Okay.
like more,
Yes.
don't we have like was it intimate coaches, or we don't have them most South Africa ko setting?
Di teng mo
Di
Mzansi.
teng, di teng mo Mzansi. I think le gore na sa le batla once. Yeah, they've invited them to come. Then obviously they gantši di tla if ke di scene tse very 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 very
Intimate, yeah.
intimate. Yeah,
But they
'cause,
communicate le lena pele, of course, as they
gore
perform.
gore la e tlhoka or what.
Oh no,
yeah.
it makes sense. It makes
But
sense.
on the floor o ba teng. So then I would run through lena gore okay, this and this and this, are you comfortable with it? If not, you're not to demonstrate. But demonstrate, and then you follow suit. So but Sanga Kabale Botata playing with her.
No, it makes sense. Yeah, Mavutela.
So with Mavutela, we had to make a choice. Ya gore a re bue Spitori,
Oh,
re better Spedi fela. And because with Tlogi I used Spedi ge ke thoma, then later Spitori, because obviously was understand our seats.
Ah, that's sharp, ah.
Then but never cause ke mosadi ao o ka se berekisi Spitori ba ngare ke braya or something, but no, the couple tsa go Pitori di bolela. That's how they speak. Then that's when everyone understood the director or okay, no, you not kidding, it's not compulsory to speak Sepedi lili too, but obviously if it's something formal, at least address it ka Sepedi, so that le batho ba bang ba utlweletseng they understand. Then ka Sepitori tla ba maybe dilo tse di informal. Then with Vuvu we had to buy Maremagadika. I don't know if you know Maremagadika.
ke Maremagadika.
Maremagadika, it's a book,
Oh,
a grammar book. Ina le di reto, ina le di le di So o ka re wa checka nna le Mavutela re bolela.
yeah,
We,
yeah, yeah.
we speak language eo.
Yeah, Galibua, you do the same thing in Ikibua gore character ga Moses Elowski do they you get into those pockets, that's speed. Yes, they get into that pocket, that's yeah.
Yes, so yena ko storylining sa rena na le more close to Tlogi than with me. So but at some point ba kopane mdala le Mavutela mo ba framang ntlamulo, mo ba framang ntlamulo mo a berekang le Vuvu gore lindiwe a boelane le ntlamulo, of which Leona, it was nice working with her. And asangara bala matata since re kopana ko levels 2021 until today.
Yeah.
And we are a good team. We are a good team. Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
We are a good team because re berekisana sharp together. And if hona le mathata ra bantsha ra bolela, and then we solve them. Gore at least re ska sabotage performance. But we hardly have matata because we believe we are good people, and we believe we are more spanning to work. Let's work, and at the end of the day, if we are family and then we together, are doing but at the end of the day, we are here to work.
Yeah.
So let's work, handle and keep the chemistry going, and make the story alive. Yeah, but
That's
it was good working with them. It's good to work with him, and ki fela ke ya go di setting tsa ga more and see the chemistry, because I don't know, maybe one day re tlo meet le ba ga more and work together. So you have to understand and see how they work, and then learn from that. Whenever it's your turn to work with the people, then you know okay, motho tshantse at least o tsene pila o tsene ka ma right o ska tsena ka ma left, because
It
yeah,
makes
but
sense.
so far re spana sharp. So far re berekile sharp, and we are good to each other.
Okay. Last two people that I want to ask you about, because it's about 3 already. I'm asking you about a lot of people because I give out invite when I Moses got don't sure you're not a fan. I just had to like choose a few people. I'm gonna bring it a little bit personal. At some point you lost a friend in Usbusiso. You know, how do you think the industry would be like if he was still alive? You know, because from the way Nikki Bonaka thing from a distance and the relationship that you guys had and the way how you and other people admired him, Hassan Tapela, it looked like he was one of those people who were supposed to be pioneers in the industry, you know. So what was it like? And also the last one is a friend of ours that I love so much, Masai Sipuru, and then Klabaretswan.
Because there was a point it's a show about Sibusiso Kwinana, and the person suitable to play the character was Masai. So, Sibu was a true friend and a brother, and we had plans to grow our industry independently. But unfortunately, his life was cut short immediately after his break, because I remember on the day he passed away, Natlako auditioning KFC. Nasitele Matthew Siso. And unfortunately, he couldn't make it then by Fam Matthews. Respond sharp. Nagan Nalisbu since 2013 until 2019. We shared a bed. We shared a bed, we shared a room. Sometimes, obviously, me petone too. I would be the side Abegam. But if Honale buying, we will share the bed. And Nale Engine, I can safely say so. Because his mandate was to combine or unite the artists at Pitori with the artists at Joburg. Because there was a division there. So now I understand the division or what's happening. That's why almost every weekend, no takes go Pitori, it like to support a show kamo Joburg. Sometimes ne kopana lebo Bililang albo Mahlatse and say bring the team from Joburg but le go Pitori but lo bogela show. Of which ne ba itla go the station theater and ra stage ale Tswalo. That's how we got to meet and work lebo Billy. It was also and kopanta TX as well le go Jimmy Steen, there was a theater there, independent, and then his mandate ne lo gore independent theater makers should make it in life and rescaleta any other person to come and tell us what to do. We will do it ourselves. If batlo gore fa funding, we will get it a cheleta arena. But obviously if I think re tlo get it arena independently re tlo tlisa batho le ge ba ka tsena ka di 10 rand. But after his passing, that's when we realized we lost a soldier. I believe inge asa phela ngere le gole now because yena na ira film na studisha film, and his plan was to have our own studio Pretoria gore kai na re tlo screen ra better independent filmmakers, right? Tsa di film tsa rena ra di sa di competitions tsa di film, and maybe at the end of the day have our own studio, shoot, and then recoup maybe airtime go DSTV, SABC, and then I believe once baboni talent and baboni dilo tse re di rileng ba ka tsentsha something. So I believe ngere le gole blind. And but I'm thankful I got something now, and I will keep the legacy going. Ronald Majitar Sakopana Leno, and we are planning on making something for him and for ourselves as well. But yes, it is painful because Remuluzite at his peak, because
Yeah.
and an early hit,
It was.
obviously, and the production is a by never and imagining the production because our plan and focus was to make money wherever Morigria. If Kira show state theater, if Kira show wherever, we make money and then keep the movement going. Of which we did that best at some point until Baru Jezayen.
Man.
But I believe we still have time and opportunity to can make it for him. So yeah, with Masai, Masai, Masai.
Yeah.
I think I met him 2016, if not 17. Ne ke fela ke bogela di poem, the poetry sessions. So ne re mo support, and then sometimes re dira di show ra meet or atla to perform, and then he was a brother, so o re pheletse le rena we had gore re mo phelela, and ke sa mo phelela le no, and we are doing good and he's doing very well. I can recommend his writing to whoever who needs a writer, who needs a performer, a poet to come and do good in their events and stuff. But I can safely say we are Retwaran Ronaldo Masai. And dope. The industry I so bonisel. We are planning and we are cooking fire.
The best is yet to come.
Bona.
Kiki, how many minutes? Recut. Okay. Maraitsu, Machens, first of all, let me just say thank you. Mokwena, I want to say next time when you come here, give out loudly theater production.
Absolutely.
Because you did say good thing. We had a conversation about it. This year, it's the year.
This is the year
for you to go back on stage, you know, because I feel like you have the rawest and beautiful talent on the screen, you know, so I just love to see it more on the stage someday. You know?
Thank you. You're too kind.
Yeah.
Was far too
James,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much, my brother, and I'm so sorry for the great loss. Spura. You know, the last time I actually went to Siambonga Mduwegi, which is funny because he later worked with you.
Yes.
Now, my chance, I truly enjoyed this, and I hope you guys are going to be gracious again for us to do a part 2, because there's still a lot that I'd love to learn from you, and I wish you nothing but the best in your journey, Swafit.
No, thank you for having us, and we are looking forward to the part 2.
Thank you. Right, so they actually did say acting. It's a gift. It's a calling. You become a vessel and you heal other people. And I know there's more that you wanted to know, but we just got a glimpse, and I hope that you're going to enjoy it. Signing out, this is the Ink and Think podcast.